I'm here with Brian Manowitz, aka the Vegan Black Metal Chef.
What's going on, y'all?
And I also have Sandy here, the cat, and possibly other cats that will roam in and out of this camera view. So anyway, I just want to go and ask him some questions about touring as a vegan, and I guess to start off with, how long have you been vegan, man?
So I've been vegan about 17 years now.
17 years, and what brought you to this lifestyle?
I had a girlfriend in high school, which is probably the most typical why I became vegan story in existence. I had a girlfriend in high school that went vegetarian, and at that time in high school, my last year of high school, I said, well, you know what, I recognize that as the right way to go, but I'm not ready for that yet. And so I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything for a whole year. And then in my first year of college, I looked back at her and I said, well, she didn't die. What am I so afraid of? And then I recognized it really as a fear in myself. And like, not a fear of anything real, just like a weird conditioned fear, like just this deep-seated weird thing that not a fear of any kind of danger, but yeah, just some deep-rooted thing, and I couldn't live with that weird fear of nothing in my life. And I said, okay, well, I'm just gonna face this fear head on, and I went vegetarian for about 3 months. Then I went to an animal rights group on campus, the Animal Activists of Alachua at University of Florida, where I was going, and saw a few videos and then said, okay, now I'm vegan.
Right on. So it was for a lot of animal rights reasons.
Yes.
Because I know that people have different reasons for going vegan, and especially nowadays, health seems to be a driving factor, as does environmental reasons. So when you travel a lot, being vegan black metal chef, and yeah, can you just let us know any tips when you're traveling as a vegan? Because I just know that it can be a complicated thing at times. The world isn't equipped to have convenience foods on hand. Do you bring anything with you, or do you shop at certain places? If you could enlighten us.
Yeah, absolutely. So, traveling all over the U.S. and several countries in Europe and Australia, I would say first thing that people encounter is, if you're flying traveling, is of course the airport, and like what to do to eat at the airport, because sometimes you get hungry either before the flight or after the flight, or if you have a long flight. And the world isn't ready-made yet in all places to be like super vegan obvious. I think that it is very vegan friendly, but I think it's not vegan obvious. So the first thing I do is I'll go around to the different food court things, and I'll just look at all of them and kind of like look at the menus of like all of them and be like, and just start compiling some choices, because initially you're gonna look at things and be like, oh, I don't think there's anything vegan here.
Right.
But as you begin to sort of inspect all of them and inspect all the options, you're like, okay, no, wait, this could be vegan, that could be vegan, and you start to kind of put together like a few options in your head. And it's usually not just one option. You usually have like a few things to choose from in the end.
Yeah.
And then I usually pick like what's the cheapest and best.
Which is probably difficult at an airport.
Sort of among that. And yes, sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's really not that bad.
Uh-huh.
And I post on my Instagram all the time of like airport vegan finds. Right. And this is in any airport that I've been in, even in Hamburg, Germany.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't look like there was anything vegan, right. And I found a place that I got a vegetable pizza with no cheese, and the
right.
sauce and the crust were vegan.
Yeah.
And so different, and it was good. And like, so all sorts of different things like that. Like sometimes you just make slight modifications, but that's how I go about it. I first kind of assess everything that is going on there, and then kind of pick some options.
Gotcha. And do you pack anything with you when you're traveling? Do you have any like staples? I mean, I know when I'm traveling, I'll bring a lot of times rolled oats because they're just very easy to heat up. Maybe some dried fruit with that, so you can have a meal in the event that you arrive someplace at midnight, nothing's really open, and maybe you're in a remote part of the world or something like that, where they don't have a lot of 24-hour options. Do you bring anything with you?
I typically don't. Although I will typically, if I see, here's the thing with the vegan stuff too. First, it starts with just caring, just making it a position in your mind that, no, I'm going to care about this.
Right.
And so in situations like that, I would either try to eat a large meal beforehand.
Okay.
Like just this much pre-planning goes so far of a way.
Right.
With what you're saying, with pre-planning, a meal, to carry with you, or if you don't want to carry something with you, pre-planning that you're going to eat a significant meal before that, and schedule that into to your schedule time.
Gotcha.
And because as you said, it's not always. There are some airports that are just in your face, check this place out, vegan stuff everywhere.
Right.
And those are awesome. And some travel times when that happens, and that's awesome. But the times when it doesn't happen, just a tiny bit of pre-planning and just caring enough to check things out, and not just doing a quick look and say, oh, I don't see anything. Actually going over to each of the places, looking at all the little options, including the sides that they have, and being okay, what is at each place. Sometimes you find amazing finds, in London Heathrow. Okay. There's a place called Sushi Go that has bottomless miso soup, which happens to be vegan. Not all of it is.
Right. But, a lot of the miso soup, they use a bonito.
Which
is a fish. Fish product that they use to help flavor it. But they have a vegan. I think I've seen that place.
And you get bottomless miso soup for 4 pounds or something. Right. And they will just keep refilling it.
Okay.
You got tofu and seaweed and so I mean, there's some really cool finds like that, and a handful of others. Which I mean, there's also other vegan sushi to eat there, but
Gotcha.
But just in general, you have to really go and inspect a place and really look at the menu and really see what's going on. Which doesn't take that long. It just takes a moment. Okay. It takes just a moment of caring about it.
Gotcha. Cool, man. So, vegan black metal chef. Do we have anything to look forward to in the future? Do you have any events that you're going to be doing? Do you have some cool new videos coming up? Or is it all under wraps?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, if you're watching this video soon after it comes out, I'm going to be in Grand Rapids, Michigan Comic-Con.
Oh, okay, cool.
Doing a cooking demonstration there. After that, in late October, I've got the SoCal Veg Fest, which is coming around here in Orange County.
Gotcha.
And a couple other trips in the future, possibly one to France in the Paris early next year. Nothing set in stone with that yet. I'm actually starting a new little video series on shopping in different supermarkets, and because I shop at a few different supermarkets to get the things that I need. Nothing crazy. If I absolutely had to, I could get everything I need at a Walmart.
Right.
But typically for Asian things, I'll shop at an Asian store. For Indian things, I'll shop at an Indian store. For regular Euro-American stuff, I'll shop at a regular grocery store, I guess you would call it. but and oftentimes for produce, I'll shop at some place that I find really cheap produce, especially because I'll usually stock up on many of the things at the various stores that are not perishable, and then the produce that I buy, I'll find a place that has cheap produce, and then that's more of the perishable things that I keep going back for. So
Gotcha.
I'm gonna make a video series on what I buy, and then I'm usually gonna have a guest in it that will give a different perspective on
Yeah. And you know, and that's good for most people who are trying to save some money. I know just in Los Angeles, there's a lot of like really good places that you can go to save money and do this. I mean, just in downtown alone, we have the whole produce district, where you go to the farmers market, and they tend to sell really high quality produce at a very discounted rate, and you're going directly to the farmer.
Oh, yeah.
Or you're eliminating the middleman by going to the produce district. If you live maybe in a more of a downtown type of situation in your city, because that's where they'll have these type of hubs.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's a lot of really good options out there. What kind of music are you listening to lately? Since it does have sort of a music theme mixed with traveling as a vegan.
Sure. One band that I've been listening to a decent bit lately is this woman called Merker.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I've been just totally digging it. It's like sort of got this old school black metal vibe, like semi lo-fi production.
Okay.
But like really good lo-fi production. The kind of lo-fi production that's actually hard to get.
And like Transcendent style, Dark Throne.
A little bit different than that, but in the same or in similar sort of old school vein.
Right.
But her voice is like utterly fantastic. I mean, her voice is like the world class element like going on there. And so I've been really digging that. I've been still listening to a lot of Wardruna as well.
Well, I haven't heard that. What is that?
It's not exactly metal. It's like Viking folk music.
Okay.
They actually wrote most of the soundtrack, I think, to that show Vikings.
Okay.
And it's although for a period of time, and I think one of the founders was Gaul from Gorgoroth.
Oh, okay, wow.
And but it's like handmade instruments and like but with like modern production.
Right.
And just sounds absolutely amazing.
That's cool. I wish we got some more of those bands out here. I think the only, we've had Enslaved come out to the U.S. a few times, but that kind of delve into the Viking metal.
Yeah, no, and it's a pretty hard thing for I think that band to do as well, because I think there's to put on a real live show with it. There's a lot of people,
right,
and
right.
So that equals like tens of thousands of dollars of like travel costs for the promoters and stuff. So it's not
pay those high ticket prices there.
Yeah. So it's more of a festival sort of oriented thing, I think.
Right. They come out for a one-off or something like that. Cool, man. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. All these cats over here, and this is brought to you, obviously, I guess, by Metallica. Just kidding.
Thanks for having me. I totally appreciate it.
Excellent.